Yo, what's up? Hey, hi. Well, welcome back to the Hentai Hideaway. I was trying to chill. I was trying to relax all day. I've been kind of like go, and I was thinking, all right, Friday I'm gonna chill. I'm gonna play video games, and I'm gonna just shut my brain off. And then I did it for I probably had 5 seconds of just nothing, and I went, ooh, that doesn't feel very good. Why don't I see what everyone on the internet is up to? And now we're here. We're gonna chill. We're gonna kill the final working afternoon of the week, and we're gonna slide feet first into this weekend's pussy. How pumped am I for the RE4 remake? What a great question. I haven't watched much about it, but I still have my original play experience of Resident Evil 4 is almost entirely committed to memory. I had a stable girlfriend. I had a girlfriend at the time, and I can still remember kind of being like, yeah, this is important. Resident Evil 4 is important. I remember playing on like a demo kiosk at the mall and going like, this is what I've been waiting for. So, dude, thank you for talking about Resident Evil. This is so relevant to my life right now. Resident Evil 1. My boy in like 6th or 7th grade, his dad is into video games, okay? I'm a Super Nintendo kid. I want to go to Blockbuster and rent weeb bullshit every weekend. We never buy games. On Christmas, I'll get 1 or 2 video games. And I had to strategically pick, like, okay, Street Fighter 2, I will be able to play that over and over and over again all year. Like, I had probably 2 video game picks per Christmas, maybe more if it was a year where my mom was working. My video game purchases as a child were, number one, if I got enough money for my birthday, which was rare because December 27th, I'm right after Christmas, that kind of collapsed into one. And it didn't double my gifts and money. It just flattened it. So between what my parents could afford and what I could afford after gifts, that was my video game budget for the entire year. And I'm talking like, I remember my brain came online in 2nd grade. I think it was 2nd grade. My birthday came. It was cold. It was dark. We didn't do birthday parties for me. But I remember I got enough cards in the mail, and I had, encountered enough aunts and uncles that I had cash in hand to buy a Super Nintendo game. My dad takes me to the store. I buy Final Fantasy 2. It's Final Fantasy 4 in Japan. Remains to this day one of my favorite video games ever. The one bonus I have here is that my mom would overspend on Christmas because she was a lifelong addict, and she didn't care about putting our family into ruin. So every once in a while, it'd be like 3 games this Christmas. Metal Gear Solid was a big gift. I think I might have gotten Metal Gear Solid and Final Fantasy 7 in the same year. Anyway, I'm getting away from the point. I was renting games every weekend at Blockbuster. And so I stretched out that Super Nintendo as far as I could. We finally got a PlayStation. My friend Ryan, his dad was big into video games. He had a Sega Saturn, and he had like one of those like memory carts that went in the back that allowed him to play import games. And then he knew where to get import games. Pretty fucking cool, right? He was the first dude I knew. I think he might have had a Dreamcast, like, launch day. Pretty fucking cool. Anyway, he brings me over. He's like, dude, you have to see this game. And they start up a brand new save in Resident Evil. And I'm like, this is... Even just, like, the doors open. Actually, you know how you go from room to room in Resident Evil and it's got the door opening animation? Like 3 rooms in, I was like, is it going to do this door thing every time? First 2 doors, I was like, ooh. Doors like 4, I was just like, all right, dude, it takes a long time to go from room to room in this fucking thing. But he starts up a brand new save, and he gets us to the one hallway, the dog hallway, basically. And his dad, and I think one of our other friends is there that he's already shown this to. They all sit around and watch me get the dog jump scare in Resident Evil 1, and I'm hooked for fucking life, bro. I'm down forever. It's the best. I obviously that year we gotta get a PlayStation. I gotta have Resident Evil. in the fucking the big tall case. Remember? By the time Resident Evil 2 comes out, I've like set aside the budget. We have to have Resident Evil 2 on launch day. It might have been the only game I pre-ordered as a child was Resident Evil 2. I played through all 4 scenarios. It's a masterpiece as far as I'm concerned. And then I end up, when I'm done with Resident Evil 2, and by the way, I don't play like the tofu or the hunk shit. Like, I don't even know if that was in Resident Evil 2. I never played any of like the weird like merc shit, that like super endgame stuff. I just didn't really interest me. So I finish up with Resident Evil 2. I trade that to a friend of a friend, goes to a different school. His family pulls up. I think they're a Mexican family. They might have been undocumented, and I probably was taking advantage of them. But this kid really wasn't Resident Evil 2. And he hears through the grapevine, I'm done with Resident Evil 2. I'm in school. I'm on the block. I'm like, I am the master. I have conquered Resident Evil 2. It has nothing left for me, bro. And so this kid hears, and he goes, I'd like to get my hands on that. What I have to offer in trade, a Sega Saturn and like 5 games. And I go, what are you talking about, dude? It was like Virtua Fighter. Was it Virtua Cop? Missed. I had missed. I go, absolutely. Say when. His family pulls up. It was one of those Mexican families where like when they went somewhere, their whole family showed up in like the car. You know what I mean? I actually, to this day, I'm like, that was an unfair trade. I wish someone would have stopped me. I wish I had the wherewithal to be like, this is too much. I have to offer something else to make this. It doesn't matter. The past is the past. I get this kid Sega Saturn and all his games in exchange for my Resident Evil 2 that I brought the day that I picked up my Resident Evil 2 pre-order. I brought it to school in the wrapper still. Like, I got it. We were all broke as fuck, and I brought it to school. I was like, guys, Resident Evil 2 it's out. I have it. And we like looked at it. I remember we all took an extended bathroom break. Like we were hiding in the bathroom in a Catholic school, just passing the jewel case back and forth. Like, whoa, dude, I can't wait till we get to play this. I can't wait till we're not punished and we're allowed to play PlayStation. So that's my trade. So Resident Evil 3 comes out. I'm a little bit old. I'm in high school now, I believe, because I was either in high school or like late middle school. I could look up this date, but I prefer not to. Resident Evil 3 comes out, and I'm going to be honest, it didn't quite grab me. I think it was a little bit too feminine. I think you were playing as, was it Jill? And you're wearing like casual wear? It looked like, in my memory, and I'm probably wrong, but I think Resident Evil 3, you're playing as Jill, and she just got done shopping at Forever 21, and she wears the outfit out. 1999. I would have been entering high school. Let's see the date. September 22nd, 1999. I had just started high school. Only play as Jill. And it's a prequel, kind of? Is it? Yeah, look. Okay, here we go. This is what you're playing with. You know? Yeah, I'm sorry that this didn't grab me, but at the time, dude, I was just entering high school. It was still gay to like girls, kind of, even though you're kind of like white knuckling it. And I get to this, and honestly, looking back now, I should have been just cranking my meat. I should have just been turning on the PlayStation and just like, oh fuck yeah, look at that, dude, a little bit of cleave. And instead I was just like, I don't know, I'm not sure this is really grabbing me. So I don't even know if I ever got that far into it. But what's the year on Resident Evil 4? Let's look at Resident Evil 4. So yeah, so Resident Evil 3 releases as I'm entering 9th grade. Resident Evil 4 is not until 2005. I experience all of high school between Resident Evil 3, which I check out on, and Resident Evil 4, which is like a meteor. I've finished high school. I've accepted I'm not going to college. I'm working at like a kind of low-paying office job. I went to work in an office after high school. And I didn't touch Code Veronica either. I still haven't to this day. But Resident Evil 4 grabs my attention and does not let go. I had a girlfriend at the time that worked in the mall, and I would say that I was coming, like, I would be like, hey, I'll come visit you at work. And I was just actually going to the mall to go to GameStop to replay the Resident Evil 4 demo. Probably at Electronics Boutique, if I had to guess. So, I'm very excited for Resident Evil 4 Remake. Ben and I are playing, you'll remember Ben is my 12-year-old son. We're getting to the final section of the Resident Evil HD remake. He asked me to play it. He's held the controller for almost the entire game. I've done some backtracking for him, some of the more like boring esoteric puzzle shit. We're about to wrap that up hopefully tonight. Then we're starting the Resident Evil 2 remake, and then we'll play the Resident Evil 3 remake together. I'll experience Resident Evil 3 for the first time with my son, who's the same age I was when I checked out of Resident Evil 3. Or just about. I was 13, he's 12. And then the Resident Evil 4 remake, which I'm exploding over. I'll get to show him and be like, this is when it gets really good. So yeah, to answer your question, yes, I'm pretty pumped on Resident Evil 4. That's my whole thing on Resident Evil. And then we'll skip 5 and 6. I'll dump them in 7. And I've held off on playing 8. I have 8. I haven't really played it.